Hello, Josh the Jolly Green Giant. Nope, I inserted green on my own. That's not in there. Josh the Jolly Giant, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us on YouTube for the first time, this is a series where I, Maldorius Houndethan, will review your commander deck's weird little PP, or in this case, Jeff Goldblum's. Your PP is your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. For this deck, it appears to be getting punched in the liver. And your practicum is the stuff in the 99. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about their idea, whether or not it's going to work in the bracket they want it to work at. And then we'll talk about the cards in their deck, if they have to compromise on the idea, if they have to change how they're applying it, or maybe a bit of both. So on idea, the number one thing I'm going to caution you against, the additional primer submitted in the intake form talks a lot about, I want to force people to play from Ian Malcolm's exile pile. He makes an exile pile when each player draws their second card each turn. Anybody but them can play it. So if your Ian Malcolm deck is working, people are playing each other's decks, but not their own. And you said you want to force them to do it in a fun way. Stop. That can't be the goal. That can be a happy accident. Sorry, I have a menthol thing. I have a fisherman's friend, if you're familiar with that. God, it burns. If our goal can be get a big exile pile, but we cannot seek as a goal our opponents having fun with our strategy, it is a recipe for constant disaster, especially with a chaos strategy, because like the number one reason people play Commander, hang out with friends. Number two reason, show friends their deck. Like there's a big overlap with like Dungeons and Dragons, with kindergarten show and tell. People want to show off their thing. Like part of the reason you have this deck review is to show off your thing. And so if your commander is by necessity not letting people show off their thing, there's always going to be friction. That can be good friction. It can lead to like funny little arguments about what a dickhead you are for exiling their win con. But we can't rely on it. Or at least I think it is not very eightfold path of you to rely on it, and especially not rely on it. You talked about Blood Moon, you freak ass. Like, I think the core mistake you have made on the idea standpoint is you talked about like, I'm not running removal because I don't want to be a jerk, but I'm running Blood Moon. And the way I would like you to envision yourself is you are, yeah, people are going to be very angry about this. I'll be totally honest. People are going to be really, well, I don't know about angry. I have deep doubts about how much fun people will have with this. So we have a little bit of damage to try to end the game. We have way too few lands. What I'm going to try to argue for here is if your goal is I want people to play from the Ian Malcolm pile so that we get a different game than normal. I don't want them to be able to run out the strategy they've run out for the last 10 games. I want them to have to try to improvise, adapt, overcome. Flashbang, Bear Grylls meme. You don't want to just use static effects to force them into a corner. What you are is you are in like an anime or in a fantasy novel. You are the devil in the woods offering mysterious dark powers. People don't really want to take them immediately, but the way to do it is not instant, like is not okay, now you're locked in a room and you're not allowed to do anything until you take the power, or at least it's not going to be as satisfying because they're just going to resent you. They're just going to be like, fine, I'll fucking do it. I have literally no other options. What am I supposed to do? Maybe your play group is a little bit different. I'm just going off of reactions I've seen in the world. What would be good, and what you're not giving enough credit, is running removal. Because how do devils and demons always get people in contracts? They offer the contract is refused, and then usually the devil or demon helps this happen. Stuff goes wrong in the contractee's personal life. Like one by one, shit gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and we witness this mental degradation where they then go like, fuck, this really is my best option. I should use the exile pile. And I do not think the most effective way to achieve that is Blood Moon. I think the most effective way to achieve that is reality shift. It's like, okay, you played plan A, I shot it. You can still use your mana for whatever you want. Pretty good plan B in the exile pile, though. And then they don't do it, and you board wipe everybody. Like, damn, that's crazy. We're all out of cards. You'd have to one-sided board wipe, because Ian Malcolm remembers his pile. But you one-sided board wipe, or you somehow board wipe in a way that doesn't fuck Ian Malcolm. And then you go, that's crazy. There's like 9 cards in the exile pile, though. And I feel like that is how you get them in a satisfying way that maintains agency for you. Because another thing I don't want to have happen for you is I do not want you to be relegated. Like, you're doing all these hand job jokes. I don't want you to be relegated to the role of cuck chair, which happens really, really often when you have a chaos deck that says, well, lightning bolts aren't chaotic, I guess, so I won't play targeted removal. That wouldn't be fun. And then you actually lose out on ways to direct the chaos, which is what makes it beautiful. Like, think of the Joker in Batman. No matter how however gritty the version of Joker you imagined, the Joker was like making plans and making decisions. He talked all this shit about like chaos and like, whatever happens, but it was like, bro is a little bit meticulous. You should be a little bit meticulous. So I like our payoffs for card draw. I like our payoffs for drawing second card every turn. I like that we have ramp, and I like that we have a little bit of really aggressive ramp to cast expensive stuff that goes into the exile pile. I don't love Lore Broker. Well, do we have the stuff that just like on... Okay, obligatory, yeah. The Fairies Puzzle Box is really gonna make the hoes mad. I need you to know that. Me to you. I don't love the wheels as much. Like, the wheels is where it starts to feel like a dungeon master railroading me rather than, oh, what about this cool alternate path? Also, your commander's dead. I can't express that enough. Your commander has been killed. They've been exiled. I turned him into a frog. What about this cool alternate path? Versus this just like, I have put you in a blender bottle and I'm shaking you every turn. That's cool. That's fine. I really don't think the like ETB ping is the thing that's gonna do it for you. I think Psychosis Crawler could do it. Scrawling Crawler could do it. Razorkin Needlehead should do it. Well, I guess you make so many tokens. Yeah, all the payoffs you picked for drawing additional cards were tokens. I think there's a possibility of you just running like, hey, this is Rodney. He'll get to you eventually. You're not gonna like it when he does. Because we're not really running any cards that make big threats on our board, which is another way of like, we lose out on agency. I don't think we need a million of those, but I think a few of those would be good. Because like, obviously the playtest is going to be a little bit tough, but so we have no colored mana in the opening hand. Beautiful. All right, dope. We got something here. So I go land, pass, land, Howling Mine, tremendous. Goal achieved. I draw an additional card. I can't cast my fucking... You can't... Okay, technical note. You cannot be on 32 lands and be on this many lands that do not produce colored mana. No, it will not. This is going to happen every fucking time. So, we don't cast our commander this turn because I'm playing a fucking bounce land. Because I can't make colored mana like an adult. Turn 4, I play my guy. And I play Command Beacon. So now we have an exile pile going. So I don't know what other people have exiled. We don't really have a way to force them to use it. We go to our next turn, exile the top card of our library. This is actually great. If you want to... So now I'm actually more on Flaming Tyrannosaurus. if you want to convince people to utilize the exile pile, what you put in your deck is things that synergize with casting from exile, because if you put those into the pile, people will take them. And then they will want to use the pile because they get a benefit for it. So now, like, we have now Feshni out in the world, go forth, make people use the HJ machine. Um, but like Mana Flare, that's not chaotic. That's just the person winning wins faster. Machine God's Effigy is okay. I like a clone, but like Wheel doesn't. I don't think Wheel effectuates the feeling we want it to effectuate. I would rather this be a like, um, be a useful piece of removal where I could like I would rather Electroshock. Oh no, it's Shell Shock. I would rather go, oh man, that's great. I shoot each of your like utility creatures. I shoot each of your setup creatures for 3. It sucks that you don't have a dork, you don't have your token maker, and you don't have your +1/+1 counter enabler anymore. Now Feshni, exile pile. Anybody want it? Like that's what I would be doing rather than just this like. It feels like we're shaking a baby with the current build of this deck. Ashnod's, I have no idea what Ashnod's Altar is doing here. I don't love counterbalance. We draw 2. What do we give away? We give away a Thespian stage. Can people even? No, they can't play land, so they can only cast a spell. We get this down. We get Temple Bell down. And then, I mean, maybe there's something sweet in the Exile pile we can play. Otherwise, we don't even need to tap this because we have Howling Mine already. So at some point, we make people draw. I think Memory Vessel is also another. I mean, until your next turn, can't play cards from their hand is cute. I've seen a lot of people try to do decks like these. I have never seen it be successful when it comes from a place of you must do this. I've seen it be very successful when it comes from a place that you would think is annoying, where it's like, okay, you're trying to do something different. I am going to divert you a little bit. I'm going to punish you a little bit. I'm going to cast rapid hybridization. I'm going to I don't love what's on the board right now. I'm gonna make each of us pick something up, turn it into something else. But trying this just like I've locked you in a room with a big red sun in it, and there is nothing you can do until you give in to my demands. Feels a little bit too Lex Luthor-y. But Lex Luthor, like in the most recent Superman movie, where he just gets fucking mogged relentlessly by Superman, and doesn't get to look that cool. So I think the things I would do, got to go up on lands for sure. Cut that. I like the crack rocks. That's insane. Don't do this. Don't do this. No, cut that. Um, I like paradox. Sure. No. Sure, but like totally unnecessary. Like we really just need to establish. We just care about establishing a Howling Mine effect, and then we're like chill for the entire game. So I might even make this like I might even run artifact tutors to find Howling Mine, because the deck is predicated almost entirely on I have my commander, I have Howling Mine in play. I don't think you have to cut these, but I think these being the cornerstone of how you're attempting to achieve this. No, 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 no. That's cute. Sure. Very funny tag. But I don't think as necessary because people could beat him to death relatively quickly. Lol ramp. Um, This is a bad idea. Sure. And then sure on the permanent based ones, I'm really not sold on the wheels. It's same problem as the Blood Moon thing, where it's just like we're insisting upon ourselves. We are noticeably trying too hard to force them to clap for our gimmick, which I think is always a tough spot to be in, and I've been there many a time, which is why I feel so strongly about it. I do love demonstrate. Yeah, this is chaos, not counterspells. I think that is the mental block that is creating all of the problems I have with this deck, because the games I have played with decks that are full chaos, you want to create a game of Magic that is different than what they typically experience. When I have played games against full chaos decks, those are no longer recognizable as games of Magic. Like it's just I'm here and I'm having shitty things narrated at me the whole game is how those have typically gone down. And so giving people I love Wild Magic Sorcerer. This is amazing. This is perfect. I would be okay with this for a turn. Um but like honestly, to check my assumptions, people who play against Possibility Storm regularly sound off in the comments with your experience. I've never been the one to resolve this card. Every time I've played against Possibility Storm, the enjoyment curve has been it's funny for one turn rotation. It is accepted for another turn rotation. And then there's a lot of just like not groans, not like, oh, why the fuck would you play that? But like every consequence that they wanted to have happen because of the Possibility Storm did not happen within 3 turns of Possibility Storm resolving. And I think that holds for Warp World. I think it holds for Over the Top. I think it holds for Confusion in the Ranks. Like, guide the chaos a little. The chaos is a symphony, and you should be the conductor. Don't be afraid of making a few hand movements to keep the orchestra on track. Like a lot of the like think of it like jazz. Like jazz is chaotic when compared to when compared to like orchestral music, but jazz is not truly random. It's not truly just like fuck ass noises. There's still rhythm. There's still intention behind it. There's still like I don't know enough about music theory to talk about this confidently, but I think my meaning comes across. Do jazz. Don't scream randomly. Um so again, people with experience with these chaos decks, please report back because I'm just reporting from the front on what I've seen when I play in Gen Pop. But I do wish you the very best with this deck. It looks like a very, very fun idea that we're just a little bit too locked in on force feeding to our pod right now. And I hope this helped.